Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you have to be located on this scintillating planet called Earth, I hope from the bottom of my heart you are having a scintillating day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Welcome to my 3D channel. In this case, I'm using a spectacular, sensational, vastly appreciated software in an open source world we call Blender. Welcome aboard. Today I'm going to talk about an irritating matter that I find in the particle system. I know geometry nodes are the thing on the rise, which I'm going to learn more about because the geometry node it has a lot of fascinating features that particles can't do. But when you want to deal with simple things, simple little things moving around, particles are still the way to go for me. Why? Like I watched the video when I'm making a donut. Why worry about making geometry when it's sprinkles when I can just use the sprinkles for particles? So you get my point. So, but I'm gonna learn geometry nodes. I know a little bit, but I'm more detail. My irritating thing with the particle is in the comic book world, it's called phasing. Have you ever had a number of particles over like 100 or so, where them blasted things seem like they keep overlapping? It's annoying. Here's the example where it's annoying at. Since we 3D artists, this can't happen in the natural world. It's hard. It's hard to have a camera inside of a swarm of bees and following them in swarm. It's hard to do that. It's hard to have a camera. You can't make no camera that small on the back of an ant and watching the world from the ant's point of view. But luckily in 3D, I can put a camera in the space of a bee. And I can watch them all looking gigantic while the camera moving with them. I can have the camera on the ant and watch the ants move around. But then you lose your believability when you see Ant A partially inside of Ant B. When you see B, C inside of BA. And that happens a lot of times. I know in the natural world, sometimes you do get a two-headed ant. Sometimes you do get a two-headed bee. I know that happens. So if that happened with one particle like that or two, I can live with that. A two-headed ant, a two-headed bee, two ants stuck together, I can live with it. But I don't want to see 6 or 7 ants or bees phasing inside of each other. Then the believability is gone. I can believe if it happened with one, it can be a genetic mistake. So that's my topic of the day. How to, well, from what I've seen in my last video I made, my practice is reduce it. I couldn't get rid of the phasing and overlapping completely, but I was able to reduce it significantly. So let's jump right in to the video and start. As you can see here, I'm just using simple stuff. I ain't making nothing like I usually do. I don't need nothing fancy to make. I got plane 1 with cubes, plane 2 with its cubes, and the cubes are identical. And we're going to learn about a little bit of the magic of the seed since everything is identical. The color's just different. So let's start making this little particle now. I'm going to click on plane A, go over here to my particles, click a new particle, make a new system, and I'm going to have my end frame and start frame be the same one. Zap, we see it, so it's working. You see the halos. But I'm going to reduce my number down to, I'll say 200. A believable number of a swarm of bees, of a swarm of ants. That's a believable number for a simple swarm. Alright, so now, I should say 250. That makes it even more. I'm going to simply see overlapping with this. I'm going to go down to my render, choose collection. Then I choose my cubes 1. And that's why I have the number 1 up there. So it's easy for me to understand. Cubes 1, plane 1. Over here, my outlier cubes 2, planes 2, so I can't lose track. I'm gonna bring up my scale. I'm gonna scale up to 1900ths. And zap, there we go. And my most important thing, I'm gonna go back up into emissions. I'm gonna go to source, and I'm gonna check my emit from face. So, and then let me zoom in a little bit more and just watch this plane. So, emit from face. I want to see if I see any overlapping. So, there is some overlapping. I'm going to highlight where I see the overlapping at. I see some overlapping right here. Let me change my color to blue now. Now it's good to have it on a darker color. I'll make it blue, something dark, and bring it down. Yeah, so I can see it look darker now. Okay, so that's good. So I see some phasing right here, some overlapping. I see some overlapping here, overlapping here, overlapping here, overlapping here, overlapping here. So we see a lot of overlapping. I have it on face. It don't matter if we're going to put on vertex. Oh, and there's one more thing I got to do, people, too. I forgot to do this for both of them. I want to click on my plane. I forgot the most important thing. Click on my plane. I have to subdivide them both. Edit. Right click. Subdivide. I subdivide about, let me see, 4 times. Okay, 8 subdivisions. That's good. So they're not highly advanced in subdivisions, but so this will definitely cause some of them because I have 100 and something plane. What was it? 250, and I only have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it may be I only have about 64 vertexes. So it's definitely gonna be some overlapping what you saw with the vertex. Now let me go back to object mode. Now I have it on vertex. So I'm not worrying about vertex because vertex is too many objects. So they have to overlap there. Remember that. I have 250 objects. I have about 64 vertexes. So it has to be. So don't worry. My plane works. My object is gonna work best when it's set for faces. Okay. So we did that. So let me erase this stuff over here. And then we're going to see the beauty of the seed. Alright, let me scale out some more. Let's go to plane 2. Click on plane 2. Have to go to edit and edit mode. Have to subdivide it. Let me see. I want to make sure before. I think I did it about 8 times. I hope it worked. Anyway, let's see. Right click, subdivide 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Alright, I'm going to say that. Now I can go back to object mode. Let's see. I hope I did both from 8 because that's the way the seed will work. Alright. I got it on particle system. We click on it. I put it to 250 like my others. Let me click on this one. It says 250 here, 250 here. And my start and end time are 1. So it's working. So there are the halo things. So let's go down to render. Collection. And now since it's plane 2, I choose collection 2. And of course I have to scale it up to 1900ths. Okay, so I scaled them the same. Now, before I go here's the part where the seed coming. If you never learned about seed, I have it both of them set for 0. Right here where my mouth at. I'm not going to change it because if I change it to a different number, yeah, I'm going to change it to 1. But anyway, you see right here, before I change it, all of this section right here, looks identical. This look identical with that, with this right here. They both look, because my seed is set to 0. Now, the cubes are in a different position, because you see right here, the green cubes are longer than these, but it's still cubes right there. Like, because right here, you see right here, it's still that rectangular prism right there. So that's the beauty of the seed. It will attempt to give them the same value, but it really depends on if I did the subdivision right. If I did it wrong, it'd be off. Okay, so that's the seed out the way. If you got the right subdivisions, the same subdivisions for identical objects, the seed, as you see from my little example, will look exactly the same. That's the seed value. If I change it to, let me see if I change it to 1, what's going to happen? I got to click on something first. I change this to 1. It changed. I change this to 1. Let me see what happened. So you see, it got that in that same area that I circled. It really got that same configuration because the seeds are identical. So now, if you didn't know what seed does, that's what it does. It changed the configuration of your of your mesh or your particle systems. All right, so I can erase that, and I can get into the core of my subject of trying to create or eliminate that overlapping stuff. And let me make sure again, since I did so many changes. Do I see the overlapping stuff again? Yes, I see some overlapping. I see overlapping here. Overlapping here. And right there. Oh, overlapping here. I'm going to find at least 4 before I move on. And overlapping here. So I did 4. Alright, so now I'm going to move on. I'm going to show you all my technique that I use to help me to at least lessen the overlapping, to lessen the phasing. It will lessen it. And sometimes when I did my practice, it was gone completely. So here's the magic right here. Because now, before I go on, I said, because I did my research on, on the internet. And a lot of people was complaining, how can I stop my particles from overlapping? And it wasn't really no good answers. There was some, but they said click the offset button. Over here in particles, I don't see no word for no offset. And somebody did say something about force fields, but it didn't catch on. But I discovered force fields will help out immensely. And that's what I'm going to use, a force field. But they didn't get no explanation on what the force field would do. So I'm going to show you what the force field would do. And I'm gonna use it on plane 2. And let me move on. Let me take a good look at plane 2 to see if they have any overlap in there, because I'm just using plane 1 a lot. Let's see if we see some overlapping up here. Okay, I already see some automatically. I see overlapping right here. 1, 2, 3. See? 4, 5, 6. On and on and on. So I hope I can remember this little area right here, because I'm gonna try to come back to that little portion right there to see. And I have about 6 overlap. 1, 2, 6 of them. Let's see with my method will the overlapping be reduced. Because if it's not, then there's no need for me to make this video or post it. You get my point? If my method don't work, I might as well not even bother posting this video. So let me leave them out so you can see what I'm gonna do next. What I'm gonna do now is add a force field. Add. Let me look for it. Force field, and I'm just gonna use the simple one called force. That is. Now here's the magic. Watch what happened. I'm gonna zoom in. Now you see my force field right there where I had my cursor at. I just want to zoom in some more like I did earlier. Watch what happened when I did force field. And before I do that, let me click off this. I don't like this box right here. Okay, good. Before I do that, I want to highlight some of the stuff that had the overlapping. And let's see if it's unoverlapped or phasing. I see phasing here. Here. I see it here. I see it here. Where else do I see some right here? I think I see something right here. I definitely see it in here. So we're going to see what happened when I apply that force. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the force right here and I'm going to drop it right in the collection for 2. And let's see what happened. I'm going to take it down and drop it and zap. Let's see what happened. Now, you see that force field stuff a lot, but that's irritating. But we can take care of the force field, the force field waves. All you have to do is come down here to where it say object data properties, where it say 1 meter. That's how big the force field extension is. You can drop it down to, like I say, 0.01. And now it's gone. Now, where I had that circle at? No phasing. Right here. No phasing. No phasing. No phasing. It's still, like I said, it's not perfect. No phasing here. It's a little bit here. Let me see. I don't know if this phased or not. No, this not phased because it's right on top. It's not phased in. So we see the phase got reduced by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, at first it was 6 of them stuck into each other. Now we only have that one little area that seemed to be phased in. So, like I said, it's not perfect, but it can help. And I can say this is perfect for things that are on a ground. If it's on the ground, I'm going to try. I wonder if I should try particles coming from a. I might make another video about that because I don't want to hold you all up too much, but I may try it anyway. I'm going to do something else that I'm going to call it a day. So right now, I'm going to do something else. Quickly. I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to hide this. Now I'm going to add two, UV spheres. I don't want that. They're too perfect. I don't like that. I'm gonna add two icosphere. I'm gonna scale it up to something like that. Then I'm gonna drag it over on the Y. I'm gonna hit Shift D, drag it over. Let's go grab it on the Y again. I'm gonna give it a material. I'll make this material like a dark color like that. I'll make this material a blackish color like that. And now I'm gonna try to emit. I'm gonna try to emit some of my I'm gonna emit those same shapes from it. I hope I can get them to I hope. I haven't done this in a while, so let me see. I'm gonna click make a particle system. I'm gonna reduce the gravity. I'm gonna keep it to 100. I'm gonna make it 1,000. I might say 10,000. Oh, 5. Let's go down here to now I'm gonna turn my gravity off. Force field settings. Field weights. And I hope this shoot it. And I got the velocity up there. I'm gonna see if it shoot things out. That's what I wanted. So I can make this quick. I'm gonna still bring to my collection. I'm gonna make this collection number 1. And I'm gonna shoot things out. These small, I think I should. I'm gonna see how I work with 1900s. And let's see how this look. I want to see if it has some overlapping. Then I'm gonna go to my second one. Oh, I want to increase the lifespan so it can last a little bit long, so it don't disappear so fast. Lifetime 250. End at 250. Alright, let's start it again. Okay, so we see how it look. Okay, they spreading out as they move, so that's nice. As they move further and further, they spreading out. But let's see how it look when we close like this. When we real close, see there's some overlapping. When they close right here, you see this right here? Overlapping. Right there. Oops. When they close, overlapping or phasing inside each other. Just phasing right into each other. Again, phasing right there. I'm going to put the force field back in number 2. And we're going to look at number 2 and see how it look when it does. Let me see my timeline right here. When you're at below 40 seconds. So I take care of this one. Let me zoom out again. Well, you already know I know how to use the force field. So you don't need to see me put the force field back. But yeah, you will see it anyway because the cursor right there. So I'm going to add my force field. Add. Force field. I just want to use the simple force again. I'm going to take force and drag it back into number 2. And this is a test. I haven't practiced this, people. It's just a test to see what's going to happen. It's a test. I'm going to grab another one. I made it 5,000. End frame 250. Lifetime 250. Okay, so that's good. Let me make a little test to see how okay, they both working. I'm gonna hide this one. Alright, so I can put this in the center now. Oh, and I got the gravity on there. I want to make the gravity. Go down here to field weights. Here's my field weights. Gravity is 0. Oh, wrong one. Gravity is 0 for this. Let me go up and make sure I got all my information right. 1, 250. Okay, let's see how the gravity look now. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Now I'm gonna go back to my I'm done with the emissions part. Let's go to render. I'm gonna choose collection. Let's choose number 2. Okay, now there's the force field. Remember I said to make the force field less noticeable. Let's go to number 2. How many force fields I got? It's 2 of them. I'm gonna delete one of them. Oh, you're right. I'm gonna delete this one. I put 2 in there. Okay, good. Here's my first one. Let me click my force field again. Let me make sure that's my first one. I made it small. Okay, so we already see right now. It's less than 24 seconds. Look at that. They separate. They separate entities. Look at that. They far. That's the beauty of that force field, people. Especially for this, when you make a swarm, they not touching each other. They already separate. Let's look at the other one. Look at the other icosphere right here. Look at the comparison. They jumbled up on the right. Oh, and I made my size too small too. Let me go back to this little particle. Click on the particle. The size so tiny. 1900s. Okay, but look, it's a big difference. Big difference. The first one jumbled up. Let's look at let's look deep into the second one. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing is touching. That force field. Look, the force field has pushed them all. So that's the beauty of it, people. So now I know how to handle that. When you're making a scene with particles, they keep them from touching. Just throw a simple force field in there. Look at the second one. It looks beautiful. Both of them have 5,000 particles, but the second one, it looks more like the individual entities. The first one is a bunch of intersections, like right here where my mouse at. The second one's not one intersection. From what I can see, look at that. Not one. They separate, unique. So now I know I'm free, people. I know how to handle them particles now. I know how to keep them from colliding and joining each other. Though a force field in their collection or inside that particle, and Lord have mercy, people. You don't gotta worry about them phasing, like in the comic terminology, like it was Shadow Cat or Sprite, Kitty Pryde. You don't got, if you know about Marvel Comics, X-Men, you don't got to worry about them phasing into each other. That was the key. I hope you got some insights from this on how to keep them irritating particles from slamming into each other all the time now. And I can even see my icosphere better with my second one. The first one, it's hard to see that icosphere. Hard to see it. Because everything's so jumbled up together. The second one, the particles are so dispersed like actual bees separate from each other. Actual ants. Separate, but and they close. And some of them are still, they don't got no massive distance between them either. Some of them are still close. Like right here, the green one. Look at this. Right here. Right where my mouse at. They still close to each other, but they're touching. But they're not phasing into each other. So for the new people, like I like to say, you see me. This is a hobby for me. But I keep learning. I keep pushing forward. I only been using Blender for about 4 years, maybe 5. I was here with version 2.76. So how long ago was that? 2.77, 2.78, 2.79, 2.8, 1, 2. So I was here for about 7 Blender renditions of Blender, 7 or more. But you know it, they usually be like 2 a year. So I was here about 4 or 5 years. My hobby, my love, I don't stop. I keep pushing forward. And plus, like I was telling my wife, the biggest thing about this, it helps you with dementia. Like in my family, we have dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Doing this, it keeps my brain sharp. So if you're a new beginner, don't stop, because you can say, why are you figuring this 3D stuff out? It's keeping your brain active. It's slowing down that dementia or Alzheimer's disease, whatever you want to call it. So keep pushing forward, don't stop. Till the next time in the family, keep pushing, keep growing, and keep learning. Peace.